Death has always been humanity's most unbreakable boundary. Every culture, every religion, and every civilization has tried to explain it, fight it, or transcend it. But in the 20th century, a man within the Soviet Union dared to challenge death not with faith or mysticism, but with science. His name was Sergei Brukhonenko, and his experiment seemed ripped out of a horror novel. He created a machine that, according to some reports, could bring the dead, or at least the almost dead, back to life. But who was this man? Was he a visionary ahead of his time, paving the way for life support technology? Or was he a dark figure, blurring the line between scientific progress and Frankenstein-like madness? In this journey, we'll explore his life, his eerie experiments, and the legacy he left behind. Brace yourself. This is not just history. It's the story of one of the most haunting scientific pursuits of the modern era, resurrecting the dead. Who was Sergei Brukhonenko? Sergei Sergeyevich Brukhonenko was born in 1890 in Russia, a time when the country was undergoing massive political and scientific transformations. After the Russian Revolution, when the Soviet Union was born, science was no longer just about discovery. It became a weapon of ideology. The Soviets wanted to prove that their system could conquer not only the present but also the limits of human existence itself. Brukhonenko, a physiologist with an almost obsessive focus on the circulatory system, became a perfect figure for this vision. He believed the key to defeating death lay in understanding and controlling blood circulation. His fascination with the mechanics of life pushed him to conduct experiments that many would find disturbing, even grotesque. Unlike other scientists of his time, Brukhonenko was not satisfied with theory. He wanted demonstrations. He wanted to show the world that the human body, like a machine, could be restarted, rewired, and forced back into motion. To achieve this, he invented one of the most controversial devices in Soviet science, the autojector. De autojector, a machine of resurrection. The autojector was, in essence, an early version of the modern heart-lung machine. It could circulate blood artificially, delivering oxygen and nutrients to a body even after the heart had stopped. On paper, it was revolutionary. In practice, its use shocked the world. Brukhonenko began experimenting with dogs, and the Soviet government recorded some of these experiments on film. In one demonstration, a dog's head was severed from its body and attached to the autojector. To the horror of many, the head reportedly showed signs of life, blinking, responding to sounds, even licking its lips when lemon juice was placed on its tongue. These images, widely circulated later, seemed like science fiction. Was Brukhonenko proving that life could be restored, or was he only producing grotesque illusions of survival? The line between life and death grew terrifyingly thin. But Brukhonenko didn't stop there. With the autojector, he also revived dogs that had been clinically dead for several minutes. Their hearts had stopped, their breathing had ceased, yet the machine pumped life back into them. To Soviet propagandists, this was proof that socialism was conquering even death itself. The experiments were shocking. The implications were enormous. Could this technology be applied to humans? Could it really mean that death was not the end, but just another technical problem to solve? Ethics and horror in the laboratory. As incredible as the experiment sounded, they raised immediate questions. If scientists could artificially restart life, where was the boundary between medicine and monstrosity? Even in the Soviet Union, where propaganda often silenced dissent, Brukhonenko's work sparked unease. Western scientists accused him of cruelty and sensationalism. Animal rights activists were horrified by the treatment of test subjects. Some accused him of exploiting suffering in the name of scientific fame. Yet, at the same time, Brukhonenko's research fed into a growing field, resuscitation science. Could drowning victims, heart attack patients, or soldiers dying on the battlefield be saved with similar methods? The Soviet government supported him heavily, seeing both the medical and ideological potential of his work. In many ways, Brukhonenko was ahead of his time. The ethical debates surrounding his experiments are the same ones we face today with cloning, genetic engineering, and artificial intelligence. How far should science go in its pursuit of knowledge? Where do we draw the line between innovation and hubris? Legacy, horror, science, indie pop culture. Brukhonenko died in 1960, but his influence did not fade. His work directly contributed to the creation of modern heart-lung machines, which are now used every day in surgeries around the world. Without his controversial experiments, modern cardiac surgery, and organ transplantation might have been impossible. Yet his legacy is haunted. His name is often associated not with medical progress, but with images of severed dog heads kept alive by machines. He became a figure somewhere between a visionary and a villain, admired and feared in equal measure. His experiments also fed into culture and conspiracy theories. Stories about Soviet scientists reviving the dead became a staple of Cold War horror tales. Movies, novels, and even internet myths echo Brukhonenko's chilling work, casting him as a real-life Frankenstein. So, was Sergei Brukhonenko a genius who saved countless lives, or a mad scientist who trespassed where humans should never go? The answer may lie in how we view science itself, as a tool of salvation, or as a weapon that, if misused, can unleash horrors. Sergei Brukhonenko stands as one of the most unsettling figures in scientific history. His work forced humanity to confront an eternal question: is death final, or is it just another frontier waiting to be conquered? In trying to resurrect the dead, Brukhonenko blurred the line between science and nightmare. His experiments shocked the world, but they also paved the way for technologies that save lives every single day. He reminds us that progress often comes with a cost, and that the closer we come to defying nature, the more we must question whether we should. So, next time you hear the steady rhythm of a heart monitor or see a patient survive an operation thanks to a machine, remember, behind today's miracles lies a story that began with a Soviet scientist, a controversial invention, and an obsession with bringing the dead back to life.